bonded by the pursuit of the rush, the edge, the victory. These mighty emotions become a life of their own. Yet, nested inside this competitive manifesto is a powerful balance of the cutthroat requirement to win and the authentic celebration of pure brilliance. This is our strength. This is how we got here. This team of us. This is how we carve the future, own the glory, experience the rush. We share this power of we to inspire the power in you.
It's a beautiful day in the Rocky Mountains as Dew Tour 2020 rolls on from Copper Mountain, Colorado. We've had some great action so far. Noah Bowman winning today early in the modified ski halfpipe, and just moments ago, Scotty James of Australia kept his 2-year winning streak alive as he claims the title in the men's modified halfpipe for snowboarding. 2 more events to go before they bring the curtains down here on Dew Tour 2020 as we've made the move across the mountain to the women's snowboard slopestyle competition. Todd Harris alongside Todd Richards, and we are set to go, Todd, on what should be a very interesting competition, to say the least.
Yeah, interesting for sure. I mean, we've got the likes of Jamie Anderson, last year's winner. Anna Gasteyer is here as well. But, you know, the big factor today is speed. And as far as making it through these jumps safely, I mean, the men had problems yesterday, and it was sunny outside, so it is going to be a huge challenge for these women today to keep their speed up and actually clear these jumps.
We are set to go with the women's snowboard slopestyle competition from beautiful Copper Mountain, Colorado. This is Dew Tour 2020. Alongside Todd Richards and Tina Dixon, I am Todd Harris. Weather will certainly be a factor today. Remember, they've received 37 inches of snow in 72 hours here at Copper. Unprecedented. And the folks here fantastic job of clearing the course, getting things ready, and just moving, Todd, a mountain, literally a mountain of snow.
That's right. You know, when it snows huge, it's great for powder days, not so good for competition.
Well, this course was originally set up with 7 different obstacles, 4 jibs, 3 jumps. But things are going to be a little different because with all this snow, speed, as you pointed out, Todd, before, is going to be a major factor in the competition. For more on the weather, let's check in with Tina Dixon.
Yeah, Todd, just this morning, they've got about 6 to 8 new inches, and I've been watching practice, and things are running really slow out here, especially on these jumps. You absolutely need enough speed to hit these size of jumps. So the athletes got together and they took a vote, and they decided not to hit the kickers, and it will be a rails-only contest out here today.
All right, thank you very much, Tina, and it's all in the name of safety. Here is the riders' meeting earlier, Todd, and it's a democracy. I mean, if they don't feel safe clearing these 15-foot kickers, I don't blame them.
And this happens from time to time. You know, you really have to think about what the conditions are going to affect the riders. Is it going to be a safe environment for progression? Is it going to be a survival festival? But all the ladies got together, they did a vote, and it's going to be the rail section only. Thankfully, there's a lot of great features up top, and you have to be really creative up there as well.
Look at that international field for the final 8 women, and they will all get a crack at what is maybe the biggest option-friendly, target-rich environment of any rail section we've seen at a slopestyle course. So, with this being said, as Tina reported, no kickers, who do you like in this one? I mean, Jamie Anderson had to be the odds-on favorite before, but now does that change?
But it does open the doors up a little bit for some more names to get into the mix. I mean, Hayley Langland, she's very, very strong on rails. We look at Zoe Sadowski-Sanat, also very, very good on rails. So it's going to be different. It's going to change things up. If you're relying on your air game to get you those big scores, well, you have to go back, re-rack your strategy, and come at it a different way.
So 8 snowboarders have made the women's final. 3 runs. Only the best run counts. Overall impression, Todd, and this is going to change things up a little bit as well because the rails are so much more technical.
Yeah, and basically what you have to do now, instead of counting on the double cork move that maybe you're saving for the jumps, is you've got to bring 270s on, 270s off. You have to be technical. You need to put together a great line that will snake you from maybe something with good scoring potential that's going to keep your speed up, because remember, speed is going to be a factor in these rails as well for some of these bigger obstacles. So definitely strategy, waxing, and being smooth.
Dew Tour is all about progression, so now we've made this basically into a half competition. It's focused all on the rails. So where does the progression come from, and who do you think is going to really shine in this situation?
Well, you look at this overall field and who does well typically in a slopestyle event. Jamie Anderson, always so smooth.
Yep.
She's very committed to her tricks. She also has great flow between obstacles. So obviously Jamie is my number one pick for the winner here today. But some of these other women can come in here and kind of mess with that top 5 a little bit. If you're comfortable 270ing on, 270ing off, or creating opportunities maybe where other riders aren't seeing them, that's where the judges can reward, because they've been in this mindset of okay, we got these rails and we have to reward the jumps.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, who's going to interpret this the best?
Who can adapt to Mother Nature's conditions, because they are changing. Remember, 37 inches of snow in the last 72 hours, and the kickers here, no joke. So they've decided, the athletes have all decided to make it a rail-only feature. So again, there'll be plenty of options. That will be the key word here, because there are so many different lines for the athletes to attack. 8 women here at the Dew Tour will have the opportunity, 3 runs each. Only the best score counts. Claudia Medlova of Slovakia will be the first one to drop in. As she takes a look down the course, the judges are going to have to regroup, Todd, and change their thinking a little bit.
Yeah, and it's going to be more, more open to overall impression.
Yep.
With also, with an added focus on perfect execution on these rails. Are you making it to the end of the rail? Are you perfectly balanced on top of the rail? How did you get on the rail? Did you come from your heels, from your toes? A lot of definite scrutiny is going to be paid to any mistakes with coming off the rail early, with not committing to your slides.
Well, new ideas and creativity continue to shape snowboarding, and Mountain Dew riders Danny Davis, Red Gerard, and Julia Marino take things around them and dream up new ways to push snowboarding into the future.
I think for every snowboarder, it's important for it to be fun and creative, or else it just gets stale. You want something bigger or different to ride.
Creativity is one of the biggest fundamental aspects of snowboarding in general. It's not necessarily just huge stuff, it's simple stuff that just looks good.
Keeping snowboarding progressive and fun is one of the biggest things ever, and I think one of the more important things in snowboarding. Every contest you see new tricks that you haven't seen before. I think is something cool that Dew Tour does is hit every slopestyle snowboarder and halfpipe snowboarder in their weak spot.
Yeah, we dreamt up Peace Park because we were just kind of getting bored of the same old halfpipe, same old slopestyle course. You can take so many different lines through this park. Whether it's just like a berm or some whoops, it's all stuff that we've kind of experimented with, and these guys are now taking and putting it into the everyday terrain parks.
Dew Tour is always the best at creating really cool, creative courses, and every year they blow my mind.
That's right, Tina. Mother Nature has the say, and so far it's just too much snow for the kickers, so this will be a rail session for the women's snowboard slopestyle final. Eight of the very best have made their way to Copper Mountain Dew Tour 2020. Take your pick, Todd. All heavy hitters. Jamie Anderson, the two-time Olympic reigning gold medalist. Anna Gasteyer is no slouch, especially when it comes to rails. Celia Norrendahl, Hayley Langland, the only two Americans to make the field of 8.
Yeah, and the riders, you know, there's a big part of Dew Tour is being really rider-focused.
Right, exactly.
They have a big say on what goes down. Here is the riders' meeting where they ultimately decided that the jumps were not safe. There was not enough speed for the riders to put on a good show. So they're going to say they're combine it and just do the jibs and basically put on the best show they possibly can on the smallest field. So,
all right, so with that being said, who do you like in the jib sections? Who do you think really will excel in the rails as we look at Claudia Medlova set to drop in?
Well, I mean, obviously Jamie Anderson, she has great flow between obstacles. She has great execution as well, but there are some names that could possibly jump in here. Look at that right there. Claudia Medlova up and over the lip slide.
Ooh.
And coming off right there on the tail slide. So, and just to kind of complete that thought that I had, you still have to be on it. I mean, there's still a decent rail section up here. Speed is definitely going to be a factor. Jamie Anderson is really, really smart about how she handles rails. But, you know, you're going to have to put it together and be technical top to bottom.
So this becomes a throwaway for Claudia Medlova of Slovakia. Going to get a feel for the course and how it's going to work out. Still going to make their way to the bottom, and those are the kickers that they would have been kicking and launching off of, but the snow is just piled up too much, not giving them the speed they need to clear that knuckle. And Todd, this is a safety decision. This is no way question their courage, because a lot of them would probably still want to send it, but all it would take was one person coming up short and their season's done.
Ultimately, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Thank you. 10 seconds.
So we get a look at Celia Norrendahl out of Norway. She gets set to drop in. Todd, knowing what we know now with the conditions and how great this rail section is here at the Dew Tour, who do you like?
Well, obviously Jamie Anderson. I mean, she's got such great rail skills. Her flow between obstacles is second to none, and that's why she's constantly on top of the podium. Her execution is great. She's very technical, but it kind of does open the door for some of the other women to come in and maybe play spoiler to who you would think would be on top if the jumps were factored in.
Massive amount of options as Celia Norrendahl makes her way down in here. Remember, it's 3 runs. Only your best run counts. And Todd, the opportunities are limitless here with so many rails.
Yeah, there's kind of a lot going on here. And just to be able to maximize your scoring potential, there's the butter box, switch backside 180 off. So you see right there, it's still like a decent slope style run. And this will be the end of her run. Big front side 270 off for Celia Norrendahl. So great execution through that rail section. And you see there are those jumps that have such a challenging speed into those. Even for the men yesterday with a little bit more weight, it's really hard. You don't want it to become a waxing contest. You want people to be able to throw down.
So this women's snowboard slopestyle final becomes a rail session as Celia Norrendahl gets a full pole top to bottom through the rails. The 26-year-old from Norway. Let's look at this one more time. Nice start.
Yeah, check it out. Celia Norrendahl twisting those shoulders, popping off 270, front side 270 off of that board slide. And then just really focusing on getting technical. There's the 180 off, and here she comes on here. Tail slide 270 off of that rail. And there's so many obstacles up here that you can choose from to get really creative in these rails. So Celia Norrendahl, a great first run. Remember, 3 runs, best of 3. And she comes out of that nice and clean.
Celia with a lot of experience on the international scene, always a fixture on the Dew Tour. We'll wait for her score to drop down, and it comes in as a 73. So that becomes the mark to beat, with Claudia Medlova sitting in second place after a fall on her first run. One of the 2 Americans to make it into the final. Celia Norrendahl, 73, so that becomes the mark to beat here in the women's snowboard slopestyle final. Only 2 Americans making the final today, and this is one of them, 19-year-old Hayley Langland from San Clemente, California, part of the Olympic team in 2018. She is a firecracker. I mean, she has got so much skill, explosive rider.
Yeah, and she's very stylish as well. There she goes, popping a big nose grab into that quarter pipe feature. Now, she's one of the riders that could potentially be a spoiler. Now that the jumps are out of the question, she has great flow and awareness through the course. Look at that board slide up and over the rainbow, all the way down the flat bar. Hayley Langland carrying a lot of speed here. Frontside 270 off. That is a great interpretation of that upper part of the course. You saw her on that little hip transfer into the quarter pipe, the big nose grab, up and over that rainbow, full board slide on the lower half of that.
How big is it, Todd, to the judges that once you engage on a rail or a cannon or a torpedo or a rainbow, you carry it all the way to the end?
You basically, in the format as it is now, you've got to be perfect on these rails because there's less obstacles to judge, and now you've got to be perfect. And you see right there, Hayley Langland, 180 on, switch 180 on. And look at this right here. Board slide on the rainbow, transfers to the drop down to the round bar, sliding it all the way to the end. Perfect composure on top of the rail. And then here's that round bar with the front side 270 off. That's the way you do it. You come in, you put down a solid run.
So Hayley Langland looking for a big score here on run number 1 of 3. It's a 79.33. She goes into first place, as she is certainly someone to deal with the rest of the competition.
Sitting it down into the number 2 spot.
All right, as we move on, it'll be Annie Ruukajärvi making the first move here at the Women's Snowboard Slopestyle Final.
So here we go, Annie Ruukajärvi on course, nose slide, backside 180 out. Trying to get as technical as you possibly can on these rails. Frontside board slide coming out, switch. Looking for a different line here. Jumping up to 50-50 on that down bar. Backside 360 off that round bar at the bottom to finish off for Annie Ruukajärvi. Now a lot of these riders, they're so used to just kind of getting through the rails and then concentrating on the jumps, but this, it kind of really changes up the game. They have to be so perfect, really pay attention to their, ollies onto the rails and pops off the rails. Everything has to be perfect. Can you make it to the end? You see right there, frontside board slide all the way through. And Annie down here on this round bar as she pops off backside 360 from that 50-50.
And her score comes in as a 64.66 for Annie Ruukajärvi of Finland. Miyabi Asuka now out of Japan, the 21-year-old. Kumamoto is her hometown. See how she changes up her flow. She's very good in the air and on the rails. And Todd, this is something where I'm sure they came in with a set, with all the practice that they had during the week, I'm sure they came in with a set line leading them to the jump sections. And now you change it up completely, or you stay with what you had in the upper half?
Well, you've got to kind of change it up for the judges, what they want to see. We already saw a nice frontside 270. She's doing really well, very technical. There's that butterbox 180 on, switch backside 180 off. This is a great run that's coming together. The strength of the Japanese riders as she snags a little tail grab there at that 360. That was the strongest line that we've seen through the rails so far.
When you say strongest, most challenging tricks?
Well, I'd say just, as far as technical and basically having the best flow from obstacle to obstacle. Look at this 270 right here. Commits to the slide, on top of it the entire way through. Doesn't come off early. Sets herself up perfect. So she had 2 amazing tricks in there. Frontside board slide, 270 off the end. Just those first 3 tricks were really good. Look at this. Frontside 180 off, sets herself up. Switch backside 180 off the butterbox. You can really combo it up right there on that.
And a 91.66. So Onitsuka moves into the lead by a wide margin. Hayley Langland of the USA, Todd, in second with a 79.33. So Miyabi Onitsuka now setting the mark to beat in the 3-run format with a 91.66 on her first run. Down to the final 3 competitors here in run number 1 in this snowboard slopestyle final for the women, where we have eliminated the jump features, so it's all about the rails. This is Zoe Sadowski-Sanat, coming to us by way of New Zealand, the youngest competitor in the field at 18.
And she's going home with the Rookie of the Year award from the Snowboarder Awards the other night. Comes out, switch 50-50, 180 off. So also getting very technical on the rails. Tail slide 270 off. And then coming in here into the round cannon rail. Backflip out of the cannon rail. So nicely done. It's going to be interesting to see how the judges reward compared to Miyabi's run. Miyabi had that 270 where she was really squared up on that upper rail. The backside tail slide 270 off as well. And we're going to have to compare and contrast that. Here we go here. Pops out 180, switchboard slide. And we also saw 180 off, switch 50-50, half cab off. Sets herself up. Right here, full commitment.
Boom.
Up and over. Just backflip off, wildcat off of this round the cannon bar.
That is a high risk, high reward kind of trick.
Well, you got to go for it. You got to maximize on this. If you only have a few obstacles to put together a perfect run and get a big score, you got to maximize your scoring potential.
So Zoe with a really strong run there at 85.66, and she will go into second place here. Two-time Olympic gold medalist Jamie Anderson getting set to take her first run of 3. The 29-year-old out of Lake Tahoe, California. Look at that. 10-time Dew Tour champion. She's pretty much done it all and won it all, Todd, and here she is now on her first run.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Jamie interprets this course. 270 into the quarter pipe. She's done so well, and as I said before, great flow. Look at that backside lip slide. Keeping her speed up, she's going to go for the upper ledge.
Look at that.
Board slide up top there. Coming here to the round bar. Oh! Gets spit off of the round bar. Uncharacteristic fall for Jamie Anderson.
So was that a case of her trying to just spin off, or was she going for an underflip?
No, I think she was going to try to spin a 450 off of that. But unfortunately, you got kind of in the back seat, and if you're not squared up on these metal rails, you can slip out, and it kind of just throws you into rotations, not on purpose.
She's so good at scoring up her board. Look
at that. Backside lip slide, so perfect. Textbook. Trying to keep that speed up. And here's up to that wall ride where she gets up on top. Nose slide up there. And
big
then
in run.
I know, and then she lines up for this right here. You can see the wind up of her shoulders like she's going to pop off and just slips off on her heels and just gets spit off of that. Luckily, that snow is very soft from all the powder we've been having here at Copper. Watches her head goes to turn, and she slips out. Wow, Jamie.
That can't be a good feeling right there.
No, and that's a pretty good sized fall. She had some speed going too.
So that will be a throwaway run for Jamie Anderson.
Have 2 more shots.
And she will have 2 more shots. Score coming in as a 43. It'll be interesting to see if she does the exact same run, Todd, and if she can land that last trick. This is Anna Gasteyer, the final athlete to drop in here in the women's snowboard slopestyle final. Modified, Dew Tour champion in 18 and 15. Coming off a 6th place performance at the X Games just 2 weeks ago.
And Anna's the one that was really starting the progression charge for the women's division in the jumping portion. She was the first one to really get the doubles, multiple doubles in a run.
So now that the jumps are out of this, Todd, is she at a disadvantage?
Well, no, because, you know, I've heard her say before that she's not very strong on the rails, but she's definitely coming in here and showing that she's got what it takes. Oh, coming off just a little bit early, but up top, And it was really strong on the upper rail section.
So Anna Gasteyer, like Jamie Anderson, having some issues on that last feature as we have taken out the jumps because of speed and excessive snow here at Copper Mountain. Usually a good problem to have, but not in a slopestyle course when you need the speed to clear that 25-foot flat area.
So the only problem I really saw for Anna there was just coming off a little bit early on that cannon rail, the one that Jamie Anderson just went down on moments ago. But you've got to be perfect.
Yep.
And Miyabi is on top right now with that 91.66 because she was technical. There was no mistakes in her run. As we see Anna right here, nose slide, kind of re-getting her composure. And then coming in right here with the 270 off. So she's doing really well, but it was right here on this cannon rail. Switch 180 on, not able to hold on to that slide the entire way through, and comes off just a little bit early.
So Anna throws her hands up wondering what she can do. She'll have to clean up that final rail. A 52.66 has Anna Gasteyer in 6th place as we send it down to Tina.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. And Anna is the defending champion from last year. You're also known for your big airs. With the decision, can you walk me through the process of deciding, let's just do rails only?
Well, there was a lot of snow in the course this morning, and it was really hard for us to clear. Like, the first 2 jumps worked, but only for straight airs. And I don't think we could have done our big tricks today anyway, and now it started snowing, so that kind of took the decision from us, because now there's no way we could have jumped, I think.
How does it affect your game plan going into this event, knowing it's just the rails and all that pressure's on that?
Well, of course, it's a totally different game plan now, and I think I'm more known for my jumps than my rails, but I'm just going to try my best, and hopefully I get a good run down.
Thanks so much, Anna.
So Anna Gasteyer out of Austria comes up, and not the best run of her career, 52.66, but has her in the conversation as everyone will have to make adjustments right and left. There's the wind, the snow, the big kickers unable to go today. Todd, it is all about the rail sections here at the women's snowboard slopestyle final. After one run, it looks like this. Miyabi Onizuka of Japan leads the way with a 91.66.
And it was because she was so perfect. She had a great line from top to bottom. A lot of big tricks. There's that 270, full commitment to that slide, didn't come off early. And she had great line choice as well. You know, really combining the different aspects of this course, popping herself into a big backside 270, grabbing the tail there. It's no wonder she's in the lead.
We'll be back to Copper Mountain for more of the Dew Tour and the women's snowboard slopestyle final. Copper Mountain, Colorado. This is the women's snowboard slopestyle final. Mother Nature has thrown a wrench in the system. Too much snow and wind, so we have shortened the course just to rails. After one run, Miyabi Onizuka of Japan leads the way with a 91.66. Zoe Sadowski-Synnott in second, and a top-placed American, Hayley Langland, currently sitting in third. Surprised to see Jamie Anderson, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, in seventh, and Anna Gasteyer, the big air Olympic gold medalist from Austria, sitting in sixth.
Well, you know, you get snow, it really affects your speed, and it just wasn't safe enough for these riders to be able to go in there and hit these bigger jumps. I think it was a very smart decision, but now the game plan is 100% different than what they came into at the beginning of this week in practice.
Slovakia's Claudia Medlova now on her second run of three. It's a three-run format. We only keep your best score.
Oh, clipping up her heel right there on the second rail feature. And I'll tell you, you know, a lot of these riders, they get through the rails and they specialize once they leave the lip of jumps. And it's the snow and the fact that the scrutiny now is paying attention to how perfect are you on these rails. It's the great equalizer. It's going to open the door for someone that maybe you wouldn't normally associate with a big win in slopestyle to come out and pull through. But you see right here, Claudia Medlova clicking into her heel right there, committing to that slide, that frontside slide, and just getting bucked off that rail. Right there, that heel edge just throws her down.
So Claudia Medlova will look to her third and final run. Not an improvement on run number one, where she had issues as well at 15. A lot of people look at slopestyle and the rails as the appetizer. Well, now it's the main course. Celia Norendal getting set for her second run here in the women's final. She had a 73 on run number one. Miyabi Onizuka of Japan leads the way with a 91.66 in our three-run format where only the best run counts.
Cecilia Nordendahl, she has great rail prowess. You've got to just be absolutely perfect right now because the judges have the magnifying glass on you up here on these rails. 50-50, 180 into that quarter pipe. If you've got 270s in and out of rails, this is a good time to use them. Take those risks by throwing the rotations on and off because this is it. You've only got 4 features to really put an impression in.
This is the final feature for Celia, and she comes off cleanly. So, Todd, a conservative run for Celia Norendal from what she's capable of doing. Do you think she's trying to build towards that third and final run?
You know, you want to put one down solid. I think some of these riders may be, you know, not used to having to really focus on rails. I mean, there are rail-specific competitors, but these are slopestyle riders that have to, you know, get through the rails with enough and then get into the jumps and combine those two. But now that you eliminate the jumps, it's all about trying to get as technical as you possibly can. And as I said before, you've got to be perfect because the judges are looking for any mistake. But Celia having a great run through the rails. Nice frontside 360 off. So that was a great run for Celia. I think we're going to see a decent score for this.
Celia was sitting on a solid score already of 73, which had her into 4th place. This is the final feature. She comes off clean, perfectly locks on that board, and she will stay in 4th with a 73.33. So a slight improvement for the Norwegian rider. Hayley Langland now getting set for her second run of 3. 19-year-old out of San Clemente, California, coming to us by way of Orange County. I don't know if she's ever seen this much snow before because 37 inches over 72 hours is a lot. Thus, the cancellation of the lower section of the slopestyle course, and she comes out big, finds somewhere to pop.
Hayley trying to get that nose grab. Front 270 off of that round bar. Back 270 out of that front side board slide. This is a good run. Hayley setting up 50-50 off the butter pad to 180 and coming in here. Switch board slide, comes off early to bounce into a backside 180, but just popped off that rail just a little early, so a lot of pressure into run number 3.
So Hayley Langland looks to the third and final run. This will not be an improvement on her first run, which was solid. Has her in a podium position, 79.33. Todd, you've been on these rails before. You know just how slick they are.
They are, and you know, there's a lot of pressure now, too. This is kind of a mind game for some of these riders, and you're trying to kind of maybe overthink through it. Hayley looking very strong up top, though. There's that frontside board slide, pop off 270. Everything was going well there, and then into this round cannon bar. Switch 180 on, doesn't square herself up between the bindings, comes off a little early, but is able to bounce a 180 off that knuckle. Didn't go down, but still it wasn't as perfect as it could be.
Anni Ruukajärvi currently sitting in 5th place with a 64.66. All the focus now here in the women's snowboard slopestyle on the rails section as the jump features have been eliminated.
So here comes Annie into the flat down. Ollie's out to nose slide, backside 180 out. Trying to get the most technical combos you possibly can. Frontside board slide, backside 270 out. Carrying a different line here over into that very long down bar. 50-50, and then here's the last feature. Back 360 off that round cannon.
So Anni Ruukajärvi of Finland with a second full pull. Remember, a 64.66 was her first run. Everyone chasing Japan's Miyabi Onosuka right now with a 91.66.
And that is by virtue of some 270s on and 270s off. You've got to get spinning onto these rails. There's that nose slide, late backside 180 off. And then here we go. Frontside board slide, popping off backside 270. That was nice and clean. And this right here could have been a little bit more technical, but she comes off of that into that transition, tries to catch the last portion of that big long round bar, and that sets her up right here for this 50-50 to backside 360 off. So a solid run, but still a lot of room up there to score if you can get those 270s into those rails as well as off of them.
Smile on the face of Anni Ruukajärvi of Finland as she waits for her score to drop. A 64.66 is what she got on run number 1. A similar run. Looks like she might have mixed it up just a little bit, but not enough really to bump her up into the top position, which is a 91.66 put up by Japan's Miyabi Onosuka. Judges really thinking about Annie's second run here and where they're going to put her, and it will be an improvement. Look at this, an 81.33. So Anni Ruukajärvi now sits in 3rd place. Onosuka, Sadowski-Synot, and Ruukajärvi now 1, 2, and 3 in the midst of the second of 3 runs here at the Women's Snowboard Slopestyle Tour 2020. Snow continues to fall at Copper Mountain, 37 inches and counting in the last 72 hours. Miyabi Onosuka now of Japan, the 21-year-old out of Kumamoto. She has the top score so far, laid down a 91.66 on run number 1.
Now watch this. Is she going to 270 into this rail again? That's what she did first run. There it is. There's the frontside 270 in. That's what it's going to take to get those big scores. Little board slide. Front board slide, backside 270 off, so she's putting together the combos. Switch backside 360 off the butter pad, just inching up the scoring here. Here's the last feature. Switch 180.
Now, wasn't as clean, Todd, that last
feature. Wasn't as clean,
feature.
but you can see she's got the technical tricks. She's trying to bring it. Still, she's going to be on top. That 91.66 ain't going nowhere. And it's going to be really tough unless you're doing tricks like this onto the rails, bringing that 270 and the 270 out. That's what it's going to take today. There's that frontside board slide. There's the 270 out. And here, this frontside 50-50, 180, and then popping off switch backside 360. That was a great combo, the most technical combo we've seen on the Butterbox feature all morning.
This was the final feature.
Switch 180 on, and then tries to backside 180 off.
So not an improvement, a 72.66 for Miyabi on run number 2. She'll hold on to the 91.66. Zoe Sadowski-Synot from New Zealand. Great first run score, an 85.66. Needs a 92 to take the lead. She takes a look down the course. She's the youngest competitor here, Todd, just at 18.
Coming in switch 180 board slide. Lining up this next rail. Just a frontside lip slide on there. Frontside board slide coming off a little bit early. Still sitting in 2nd place with that 85.66. Front tail slide to 180 out. Does a little switch 180 in the flat and sets herself up right here for just a 50-50. First run, much better.
Yep, 85.66 is what she will hold on to. Todd, as you mentioned to earlier, she is coming off a big performance, not only what she's done on the snow, but off the snow, getting voted as Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Big future from this young lady from England. Ollie's out, locks into that tail slide. You can see it just balancing and comes off a little bit early. There's the switch backside 180 in the flats. So unfortunately, not as good as her first run.
Final two competitors here in run number 2. Jamie Anderson looked very good, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist in slopestyle. It was the final feature that did her in, Todd, as she got kicked off. It's good to see her back up and riding.
Yeah, but Jamie, she has great contest prowess. There's that board slide, 270 into that quarter pipe feature, unique line. This would be a backside lip slide out. Now she's going to keep her speed up and try to get up this wall ride feature. Nice board slide up top. Lots of speed now coming into this long cannon feature. This is where she went down, run number 1. Front 270 off. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it's as technical as Miyabi's first run. However, she did take some risk. She got up onto that wall ride feature, mixed it up. Her flow was great.
Getting some powder turns.
She goes for some pow wheelies down the landing.
Do you think that's what she intended to do on that final feature that she came off on the first run?
Yeah, I do. You know, she wanted to get that frontside 360 off of there. But, you know, it's going to come down to how does that flow compared to Miyabi's technical.
So Jamie having some fun.
I mean, she's in the top 3 conversation right now. Backside lip slide. And that was perfect.
And she's the only one getting up on the wall. Look at this.
Yeah, she's the only one trying to get up on the wall. Ollie's up and out. Kind of overturns it a little bit on that board slide. And then here we go. This is the board slide, 270 out. So it's going to be interesting to see. Is she going to get some big points for her flow through that course?
She needs better than an 81.33 to get onto the podium and better than a 91.66 to take the lead. It's a 90.33. So Jamie Anderson certainly in the conversation, currently sitting in second place as the 2-time reigning Olympic gold medalist is standing by with Tina Dixon.
And Jamie getting some redemption on that run. Just walk us through your approach, especially to that cannon feature.
Yeah, I think I just actually hit a little bump right before it, but it's a freaking pow day. We're dealing with lots of conditions out there. I'm happy I got to put one down, but I'd love to clean it up.
There's been so...
Hopefully get that 1 point more.
Exactly, and there's been so much progression on the women's side of things, especially when it comes to the rails. How important is it just to spin off and off in a contest like this?
I think, yeah, there's definitely been a ton of progression in the rail riding. I feel like I'm just trying to keep up with these ninjas. But yeah, really impressed. It's lots of different 270s and switch tricks, and these rails are really proper, so you have to do your shit right.
Thanks so much, Jamie.
Guys.
The 10-time Dew Tour champion, just spelling it out like it is. So that'll take us to the final competitor in run number 2. Anna Gasteyer has a gold medal from Big Air from Pyeongchang, and right now she's more concerned about the rail features here at Dew Tour 2020. She's sitting on a 52.66, and this will be her second of third runs. Everyone trying to track down Miyabi Onitsuka to have a very technical first run for the Japanese rider at 91.66. And how about this? Anna Gasteyer gassing it for some more speed.
And you know, Anna, oh boy, Anna clipping that rail on the way on, but somehow, jeez.
Maybe the speed wasn't such a good idea. She had issues on the first rail. The second rail, it just completely came unglued.
Yeah, she dinged her board on the approach into the trick that she was doing on that first rail. And she's the first to admit her strengths are more once she leaves the lip of the jumps. Now right here, she dings onto that rail on the approach into that trick, but gets it. Is a little bit off balance, tries to throw the brakes on, and then hooks her toes up onto that rail. That could have been a lot worse. She actually came away from that a lot better than maybe I thought she was going to end up.
So a hip check for Anna Gasteyer on the second feature of her second run of 3. She'll have a third and final run to make it all good. But that is going to have to be a throwaway for her, as she'll have to hold on to the 52.66 that she got on run 1.
Yeah, that was just stupid.
So after 2 runs of 3 at this modified snowboard slopestyle final for the women, it looks like this. Miyabi Onitsuka leads the way with a 91.66. American Jamie Anderson sits in second. She's got a 90.33, and Zoe Sadowski-Sanat sitting in third with an 85.66. 3-run format, only your best run counts, and we've got one more run to go when we come back to Copper Mountain. This is the Dew Tour 2020. Dew Tour, fueled by Mountain Dew. Back at Dew Tour 2020, Copper Mountain, Colorado, as we take a look at the current standings in the women's snowboard slopestyle final. Miyabi Onitsuka leads the way with a 91.66. Jamie Anderson currently sitting in second place with Zoe Sadowski-Sanat in third. And here are some of the highlights right off the bat as Miyabi Onitsuka, Todd, laid down a very technical first run, and that is why she is leading.
Yeah, it was by virtue of that 270, perfect execution on that. It was just basically from top to bottom. Her execution was great, her trick selection was perfect, and she was just clean and smooth. You see right here the 180 on to the butter box, switch backside 180 off. She had a little bit of a problem on run number 2, but she definitely has the moves back to back to bring that high score once again on run number 3.
That is the run that garnered the 91.66, and that is why she leads going into the third and final run here at the women's slope final as we send it down to Tina Dixon.
And Todd, remember, Miyabi Onitsuka is known for her big airs. She has those big backside double cork 1080s, and we see her a lot in the big air competitions. So I asked her after her run, when did you get so good at rails? And she said, you know, after X Games, I came directly here, and I've just been riding rails since then. And we can see it has been paying off. But she is the current leader now, but we also heard Jamie Anderson say, I'm looking for that one extra point, Todd.
All right, thank you very much. A lot of snowboarders have taken up residence here in Colorado following the X Games. They stayed here for the Dew Tour, and Todd, they'll probably stay here for the Burton U.S. Open.
Yeah, people have definitely set up shop here in Summit County. Riding over here at Copper, it's the best setup possible now to come out and train or just basically have a good time. Claudia Medlova having problems on run 1 and 2 on that second rail. Let's see if she can make it through. Beautiful lip slide gap. Ooh, trouble again on run number 3 on that second rail. What is it? The
So Claudia Metlova will cruise through here, smooth on and off on the butter box, her third and final run. Only keep your best score, so this could probably be an improvement for her. She's sitting on her best score so far is just a 15.
Yeah, and you know, Claudia Metlova is such an amazing jumper. She's got great double cork moves off of jumps. She has a crazy double backside rodeo flip. She's an insane rider, but unfortunately today, you know, when it's just on the rails, maybe it's going to send some of these riders back home, or actually sticking around here at Copper, to really up their game in the rails. So Claudia having trouble here on run number 3 as well. Just getting a little bit bucked wild onto that second rail feature. You got to lock yourself in, square up with that, and stay on top. Here's that 50-50. Comes off, tries to gap over into that landing, which is pretty cool. That was an interesting line.
41.33, an improvement for Claudia Metlova, but she will stay in 8th place. Celia Norndal now on her third and final offering. Todd, she has had a consistent slow burn here. She's got a 73 and then a 73.33. If Celia has anything left, which I know she does, it's now.
Yeah, you might as well just risk it.
Yep.
I mean, if it could be possible that maybe you could, you know, you're not comfortable doing that 270, throw it now. You might just land it, and that might be all it takes to go home with the win here.
Norway's Norendal now on course for their third and final run.
Switch 50-50, switch 180 off. Ooh, little tail press. Excuse me, like board slide 270 out. There's off that butterbox feature as the snow begins to intensify a little bit here at Copper. And then here's the cannon feature.
Yeah.
Just a little shifty
Todd,
off.
I think Celia is one of those athletes that she needs the full course. She needs the big air kickers at the bottom.
It's true.
Yeah.
Once you get, it's more of just riding. And to have the microscope really put on your rails, it can kind of psych you out a little bit.
She's a marathon runner, and we're just focusing on her first 13 miles. And here's a problem she has. She came off and just kind of threw her hand up like,
Yeah, switch backside 180 off of that. And then here, opportunity to do a big trick off of the cannon rail, just kind of always over with a little shifty. So left a little bit to be desired on that run, but she's still sitting in that position of 6th place.
Hayley Langland now, one of the 2 Americans to make the final alongside Jamie Anderson. Opportunity for her to jump up. She's currently sitting on a 79.33 off the podium, but in a top 5 position. She's got such great rail skills. She's just got to put together a full pole. Short as this is, so many options. She just takes the run that she had with a 79.33, Todd, and maybe pops just a little bit more, maybe one more rotation.
Yeah, she needs to clean it up. There's that big nose grab into the quarter pipe. Big air to get things started off. Tail slide 270 off. Oh, and coming off a little early right there on that frontside board slide. So that'll do it for Hayley Langland's run for the top spot here at Dutour.
You saw how she came off that rail. Her body position just wasn't right, and then she just couldn't correct as she tried to get ready for the next rail. She goes down.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You come in here, you want to do your best. She's just not squared up over her back foot. You can see right there, she begins to slide off and goes down. So Hayley Langland, she's such a good rider, just today was not her day.
79.33 is what Hayley Langland will hold on to. Eni Ruukajärvi out of Finland. And he's currently sitting 1 position off the podium with an 81.33, her best score. Needs a 92 to take the lead, needs an 85.67 to move into 3rd.
And she's made it down this course twice in a row. No mistakes. She just needs to kind of up the technicality. Gapping out, nose slide, backside 180 off. Switch board slide up and over that little rainbow rail. Frontside board slide, sets herself up, switch, coming in here to the feature where she jumps off and tries to catch the end of that rail and just overcooks it on that ollie up on there. Doesn't square herself on her board and slips out onto her bottom. So unfortunately for Eni Ruukajärvi's run number 3, she's gonna have to stick with that score, and she will do no better than 4th place. Check out here, gaps out and over, gets that nose slide, late 180 off. Here's that switchboard slide. There's that frontside board slide coming off, switch stance. She goes and gaps out, and watch, she doesn't square herself up on this rail. She's kind of leaning in the back seat when she gets on there and just slides out.
Kind of O's heard If you want to be good at rails, you always have to make sure you're squared up and you never want to be on your edges.
And you have to be willing to take a hit.
So Miyabi Onizuka now. She leads the competition by way of her first run score, a 91.66 in this 3-run format. Here's an opportunity for her, Todd, to maybe take a few chances. She's already sitting in first by a pretty good margin over Jamie Anderson, who is yet to go on her third and final run.
Yeah, however, it's Jamie Anderson. Nice 270 onto that top rail. Jamie knows what she has to do, and she's such a tactician when it comes to competing that she's watching Miyabi's run here so closely.
Okay.
Miyabi almost goes down on the heel edge catch there. Nicely done. So Miyabi upping the ante just a little bit more.
Better than her second, but maybe not as good as her first?
Yeah, her first run score I think is still better, but I don't know how the judges, if their hands are warmed up when they put pen to paper here. There's that front 270 on. She's the only one taking that risk to 270 onto the rails. And that is why she's into the lead. There's a nice lip slide over that rainbow. Front board slide, 180 out. And this right here, switch 180 on. Backside 360 off, kind of gets a bit of a tailfish grab on that. That's not a desirable place to put your hand.
86.33, so that becomes a throwaway. She'll stay with the 91.66 with 3 competitors to go. It'll be Zoe Sadowski-Sanat, Jamie Anderson, and Anna Gasteyer will have the final say. Now, Zoe's in an interesting situation. She's currently sitting in third place with an 85.66. But she's got to be a little bit leery with Jamie Anderson still to come and Anna Gasteyer, who has yet to lay down a really clean run.
Yeah, but Zoe is a strong rail rider. She just needs to kind of clean up this upper section.
She's not going to go with the launch this time with her coach. She's going to do it under her own power.
Yeah, but she looked like she was really smooth run number 1. Here she comes in, switch board slide. No slide, backside 180 out. Switch frontside board slide. That's technical. That's what the judges are going to reward. Switch board slide on that long rail. And coming into the final feature, carrying a lot of speed, 50-50. Didn't get that backflip out.
Yeah.
The backflip out is what really did it for her in run number 1. I did like the switch frontside board slide. I thought that was really strong. She pops into a beautiful frontside 360 there. She's just got really good style. Pops off that switch board slide, just a switch 180 onto it, into the board slide. And here we go, there's no slide. Pretzels it out, backside 180. And then the whole way through this long down bar. And I thought she was going to throw that backflip again off of this round bar here, but maybe just came in with a little too much heat and wasn't able to kind of get ready and pop off of there.
So Zoe feeling pretty good about run number 1, and why not? She's going to stick with that 85.66, and she will sit and wait to see if she stays on the podium in third. Down to the final 2 competitors. There she is, the 10-time Dew Tour champion, Jamie Anderson, on her third and final run. Remember, she fell on her very first one, only got a 43, came back strong on run 2 with a 90.33, but she is about 1.63 points away from taking the lead away from Miyabi Onizuka.
I want to see Jamie 270 onto one of these rails. I know she has it. She's got every trick. She's kind of taking that line similar. Again, backside lip slide up on that round bar. Here she comes up into the wall ride. Okay. Just a nose slide up top. Coming in to the round bar. Will she turn this into a 450 off? No, but just a super stylish, clean 360 off there, though.
All right, here's the question, Todd. She had a 90.33 on that same run. Did she clean it up enough to go ahead of a 91.6?
I don't think so. Miyabi still has, you can't argue with the technicality of Miyabi's run. That 270 on, all of her rails were perfect. She 270 out of rails. Even though Jamie did have some major moves here, that backside lip slide was perfect, and that big board slide / nose slide up on the wall ride. She's the only one taking this line. I think she had it, a little bit more committed and a little bit more locked in on run number 2. She's a little more on top of it. But I did like her final trick here. Watch this. Gets in here, ollies into tail slide, and so clean and so quiet in that 270 pop-off. That was textbook.
So Jamie waiting for the score, hoping it's better than a 91.6. 90.33 is what she's sitting on right now. Miyabi Onosuka hoping it's not better than a 91.66. That's a tough situation with the 10-time Dew Tour champion waiting for her score to come down, and here it is. It's a 92.66.
Wow.
Jamie Anderson has taken the lead.
I'm not sure I agree with that score, Todd Harris. I'm not sure I agree with that. Technically, when I have to compare and contrast, and this is only a 4-rail feature, Miyabi had a more technical run than Jamie. Not taking anything away from Jamie's riding,
right,
but it simply comes down to math.
So it comes down to this, as Anna Gasteyer will have the final say. Jamie Anderson, by virtue of her third and final run, has gone into the lead with a 92.66. Anna Gasteyer, known more as a big air specialist, will try to work some magic here and see if she can impress the judges with some technical rail riding.
Here we go. Anna needs to bring something special here. That was clean and technical. Switchboard slide, Anna coming through, 270 off of that front board on the round bar. Anna's looking pretty special here. Combos, one more hit. Coming off of the cannon rail, switch 180. 270 out.
Okay.
That was the best run that Anna has had. And considering how liberal the judges were with the pen for Jamie Anderson's run, I wouldn't be shocked to see Anna Gasteyer jump up into the top 3.
She'll need better than a 92.66 to take the lead. Better than an 85.66 though, Todd, and she's on the podium.
Anna definitely, she upped her game on run number 3. Look at this right here. Back 270 out, carrying speed. Style, there's the lip slide on the round bar, lands, and then 180's out there. And then comes in, switch 180 board slide, pop out 270. Wow, this is going to leave the judges with something heavy to debate. Do we move Anna Gasteyer up into the top 3 by virtue of that run?
85.66 is what she'll need. There are the current standings before Anna Gasteyer's score comes in. There you see her currently sitting in 7th place. Did she do enough to get herself a podium position here? And the answer is yes. An 88. Anna Gasteyer will be on the podium. But it is Jamie Anderson, now an 11-time Dew Tour champion, that uses her third and final run to the tune of 92.66 to claim the title here at Copper Mountain. Let's send it down to Tina D.
Yeah, so Jamie goes from the fall on her first run to that third run. That was one of the best 270s I've seen you do off that cannon. What were you focused on that third run to really get you those extra points?
Actually, on the third one, I really wanted to get tail 270 off the wall ride, but I just didn't have the power. So when I got on it, I was like, all right, just clean up my tail 2 and try to go big. But if I did the tail 2 on the wall ride, I wanted to go front. Went 2-7 out same way.
Today was a tough day, challenging conditions for you guys. You had to adapt. How key is that for you when it comes to slopestyle events?
That's why I love those adaptogenics, you know? I think being human, all of us have to be adaptive to whatever's around us. So it's been a pretty stormy week, but it's been really beautiful, and all of us got to ride POW, and very unfortunate we weren't able to ride the jumps, but I'm happy we were able to session that really sick rail course, and really happy I put one down, and stoked on all the girls. Really, everyone's riding so great.
And on top of that, 11-time Dew Tour champion. So congratulations.
That's awesome. Wow, thank you.
Big win for you. Thanks so much, Jamie. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tina.
She continues to rack up the accolades. 11-time Dew Tour champion. She's fresh off the X Games title. Mammoth Grand Prix champion. If it was an Olympic year, Todd, she would certainly be the odds-on favorite to be a three-peat in the gold medalist. But here she is, Jamie Anderson. Third and final run, gets it done, 92.66. Miyabi Onitsuka with a very technical first run, 91.66, pushing the rest of the field. And Anna Gasteyer out of Austria. Wow, look where she was sitting, at 52, then a 13, and on her third and final offering, an 88 to get onto the podium. Anna Gasteyer, Todd, known as a big air specialist, and she came up big on this last run.
Yeah, in a clutch performance on her last run, Anna Gasteyer puts it down. She got as technical as she possibly could, putting together the best combos that she could on these rails, and it worked out for her. Talk about coming through when you need to. Now, if you had factored that in and she was able to actually hit those jumps, man, I think she would have been really hard to beat here today.
Miyabi Onitsuka, though, the first run, everyone's still talking about how technical and smooth this was, a 91.66 under difficult conditions.
And I'm going to say it right now, if that run had taken place on run number 3, the judges would have given her a massive score. Unfortunately, she put it down in run number 1, and it almost seems like the scores began to rise.
Right.
Now, not taking away anything from Jamie Anderson's riding, but it just wasn't as technical as Miyabi's, in my professional opinion.
Yeah, Miyabi looked so good on run number 1. Had issues on the other 2 runs, a 72 and an 86. And Jamie Anderson, wow, she brought it.
Yeah, you can never factor out Jamie Anderson. And anything that I was saying about technicality, Jamie's flow from obstacle to obstacle is really second to none. There is no one that can even hold a candle to the way that she interprets slopestyle courses. And just in this limited 4-pack of features here, she made it her own and was so clean.
Miss Anderson is certainly an artiste when you put her on a slopestyle course, even if you don't have the big kickers at the bottom, as she lays down a 92.66 on the third and final run to claim the victory here at Dew Tour 2020. So the final standings in the women's snowboard slopestyle final look like this. American Jamie Anderson gets the win, 92.66. Miyabi Onitsuka in second with a 91.66. And Austrian Anna Gasteyer, the last athlete to drop in, offers up an 88 to launch herself onto the podium. So Jamie Anderson once again works her magic, Todd. That was a long way away from her first run score, which was a 43 when she went down hard, took a tumble, came backed up with a 90, and then third and final run, classic Jamie Anderson saves the best for last.
And it was all about the flow. And I also think that she was rewarded because the judges' scores have a tendency to go up through the event. I got to keep saying it. Miyabi's commitment to the 270s on, her execution on everything was perfect as well. You know, it could have gone either way. Like I was saying, if Miyabi's run that she got that big score on took place on run 3, she probably would have won it.
Jamie Anderson walks away with yet another title, and she is now an 11-time Dew Tour champion to go alongside all her other accolades. Anna Gasteyer now receiving her third place prize. Todd, I think she's got to be the most excited. She was at the bottom of the heap with 2 runs that were not her best, and then an 88 to finish things off.
Yeah, and she just claims that she's not a rail rider and comes through in a clutch performance.
91 on that first run. She really got the judges warmed up, and then she had to sit and wait knowing that Anna Gasteyer and Jamie Anderson still had runs to go.
But you know what? You can't take anything away from her rail riding. She's going to be one to beat in the future here coming up.
11-time Dew Tour champion, Jamie Anderson. 11 times. Holy. Let's go. One more time for the ladies.
Jamie Anderson claims the top prize. Miyabi Onitsuka, and of course Anna Gasteyer finishing in third. Congratulations once again as the women adapt to this course, as they take away the kickers on the slopestyle course, and the rails become the main event of what was an amazing technical display of rail work here at Copper Mountain.
These ladies be able to go out there and just focus on the rails, because a lot
What an amazing event it has been here at Copper Mountain Dew Tour 2020. Mother Nature brought the powder. She also brought some amazing conditions. And the athletes, Todd, they brought the progression.
They did. And you know what? It was all about the Jamie Anderson show. Although that show didn't get cooking until run number 3. But in typical Jamie Anderson fashion, she found her flow in this course and began to bring out the big points. Huge gaps out onto the top wall ride here, and then a perfect executed giant frontside 270 off the cannon feature would give Jamie Anderson that fat score that would put her on top of the podium.
So Jamie Anderson uses Copper Mountain as she christens her 11th Dew Tour title to walk away with the #1 prize. On behalf of Todd Richards and Tina Dixon, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from now from beautiful Copper Mountain, Colorado.